And now we will pay homage to the Buddha by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Today we have to continue Salayana, 6 phases. And now we have to continue the Salayana, right? 6 basics. Actually, when we divide all the ultimate realities, we can divide into 12 different types of basics. We call Radhasayana. So we have 6 internal basics and 6 external basics. That is why we have 12. But now here, when we talk about Salayana, the 6 internal basics, they mean ear, eye, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. All these are called basics. Then we can also classify and categorize into many different groups. The first one is single 4. Here I mentioned Sanjati, Samosarana, Sanjati Samosarana Thana as the place of origin or meeting. So that means later we have to talk about contact again. So that means without internal base, we cannot see external objects, or we cannot experience external objects. For example, the color will impinge in the iron translucency, the iron base. Similarly, the sound will impinge on ear translucency, ear base, and so forth. So that's why I mentioned as the place of origin of meeting, Sanjati Samosarana. Then 2-4. Here we have 2 different groups. The first one is a Buddha Pasada. Actually, Buddha means elements, Pasada means translucency. So that means every single klabas, there's elements, 4 elements. There's also these translucent klabas in our body. That's why it's mentioned Bhuta Pasada, a sensitivity of primary elements. So that means we have 4 elements: earth, water, fire, and wind. So these 4 primary elements will arise with all the translucent materialities. So when we say translucence, what is the really of what is of what translucency? In this case, the translucency of elements. That's why here we just say a sensitivity of primary elements. Another thing is Vijnanadi, Vijnana, etc., consciousness, etc. So that means later we also have to study something about, right, the Vijnana. Actually, we already studied Vijnana, or we also have to study again later. So the main thing is Vijnana means consciousness. For example, in the iron translucency, there will be iron consciousness. Ear translucency, ear consciousness. No translucency, no consciousness, and so forth. That's why there are 6 basics according to consciousnesses. These are called 2-4. We also have 3-4. Next one. 3-4. Actually, when we say three folds, here mention Sambata Gojara. Sambata Gojara means as heaven for it is a domain, objective field of that are contiguous. Contiguous means actually here we have to know Sambata means, for example, in the case of taste. So the tongue translucency must touch for the taste. Now we can recognize it. We can know it. This is called Sambata Gojara. Similarly, body translucency. If we touch we tap something with our body, we can feel it. This is called Sambata Gojara. That's why, so different translucency may have different domains. That's what we call Sambata Gojara. 2. Asambata Gojara. As heaven for is a domain, objective field that are non-contiguous. So that means, in the case of Asambata, for example, in the case of the eye translucency, the color or visual object does not touch our eye, but we can see it. Right? In this case, we can understand as Asambata Gojara. So, okay, as I have mentioned before, there are, right, Sambata, there are also Asambata, both, according to different translucency. Then 3, Nobaya Gojara. That means Noya means not Ubaya Gojara. As heaven, what is the domains, objective field that are neither. So that means there's also neither Sambata nor Asambata. Right? So again, anyway, for example, in the case of the mind, right? There can be, we can touch our mind. Sometimes it will arise naturally also. Again, anyway, the main thing is, so neither Gojara, sorry. In the case of that, because neither no Gojara, no, neither Sambata, no Asambata. So the different things, though, or different bases may have different types, different conditions. That's why we have 3 different categories here. As we have mentioned before, among the 4 yonis. So we have already mentioned 4 yonis in our previous summer talk. Kavaseka, 1 born living beings. And when we are newly born, we don't have all 6 bases, right? We don't have all 6 bases. We may have only some 6 bases. Similarly, we may have egg-born living beings. They also have very limited, right? So when they are in the pre-study moments, they don't have all types of sensitivities, all types of translucency. Then we have white shell-born living beings. They also have something different from other living beings. Then for about spontaneous born living beings, such as the Devas and Brahmas, they may have all sense bases since they were born. So according to different yoni, different rivers, or different types of destinations, we may also have different types of bases. Similarly, 5-4, among 5-4, we have the 5 gatis. We have already mentioned 5 gatis in our previous summer talk. Now, here we have to reveal one more time again. So, Deva Gati, divine beings. In the case of divine beings, it also covers Brahmans. So they may have different sense bases. Then we also have Manusa, human beings. We also have different sense bases. Then Niraya, hair beings. We also have different bases. And then we also have like a beta, ghost, Chana, animal. according to different gati, that means different destinations, there will be different types of sense bases. So we also have to know all these things one by one. Okay, now we have to continue talking about the characteristics, function, manifestation, and proximate cause of Salarana, sense bases. Actually, we have already explained bases before. It will be a bit different now. Adana Lakanam, it has got the characteristics of actuating, extending. So that means the range of the bases will be very wide. In the case of seeing also, it will be very wide, right? Similarly, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, it's just extending. It's very wide. They can capture many, many different things. Then Rasana Di Rasam, its function is to see and so on. Here it just mentioned to see, but we can also imagine, we can also understand all other functionings such as to hear, to smell, to taste, to feel, and so forth. Then Vatu Dwara Bhava Pachupatana is manifested as the state of physical physics and door. Hear me, Vatu and Dwara. Vatu means base. We have iron base, ear base, no base, time base, and so forth. Similarly, we also have an iron dose, ear dose, no dose. Just changing the usage, but the same materiality. It will be the manifestation. The Namarupa Padathanam, its proximate cause is mentality and materialities. Because in our previous talk, we have already explained Namarupas. And that's why they are the proximate cause of Salarana. Okay, in our actual practice, how can we discern cause and effect relationship? I make a table. Maybe it will be a little bit messy for you, maybe. Get the table, the chart. Cause and effects. I make two parts. The part on the causes. Second part is the effect. Move to the next slide. The slide. Okay. So now here I divide into five groups. The first one is the mental factors, is the cause. Actually, mental factor is Dhammayana, according to six precepts. We call Dhammayana. Then we have the consciousness of the effect. This is the consciousness actually we call Manayana. But when we talk about Nama Rupa, okay, mental factors are Nama, consciousness is Manayana. That's why Nama to Manayana, cause and effect relationship. So when we study all the mental process, actually we have already studied in Abhidhamma Sangha, right? In the case of Pratitya Abhidhamma, we have already studied all the mental process. So every single mind moment, there will be consciousness and mental factors. They will arise together, they will pass together, they will take the same object. They will arise depending on the same basis. That is why if we discuss cause-effect relationship, all the mental factors are called Nama. The consciousness is called Manayana, cause-effect relationship. Then two, succeeding mentality and preceding visits. So when we talk about, later we have to explain something about Purijata Pachayo and Bachajata Pachayo. So now the mentality is succeeding one, then the bases are preceding one. In this we can say Pachajata Pachayo. Post-nascent conditions. Later we have to, maybe next week we have to start Patana. Anyway, so here in the case of cause-effect relationship in actual discernment, many of basics will arise together with preceding mind moments. Then the succeeding mind moment will be supporting cause of all the basics that arise together with preceding basics. Not only that, the succeeding mentality also arises depending on preceding basics. So that is it, cause-effect relationship. Then 3. So when we talk about the 3, actually I have divided into different groups here. Again, the first one is the 4 primary elements in the same clubhouse. So if we say easier way, even 4 elements can support each other. For example, we may have earth elements. Earth element can support remaining 3. Similarly, water elements can support remaining 3. You can imagine, you can understand all other 2, right? Similarly, 2 can support another 2. So in this case, we have to understand 4 primary elements are actually rupa. We are nama rupa paja. So number 1 is nama to nama, manifests to consciousness. Number 2, nama to rupa, succeeding mentalities and preceding basics. Number 3, rupa to rupa. So among the rupa to rupa, 4 elements is a rupa. Also, all other rupa in the same clubhouse. Even they can support each other also. Then 3, then the next row is life faculty. Sometimes in some texts, they also translate life vitality or something like that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The main thing is life faculty. Although can support coexisting materialities in the same clubhouse. For example, in the iron translucency, there's life faculties. The life faculty can support all other materialities in the same clubhouse. They can maintain their lifespan. This also rupa to rupa. Life faculty is a rupa. Then iron translucency will be Jakayana, internal base, iron base. Then number 3, the third row. Due to the essence in the same clubhouse. So in this case also, we should understand the same. Due to the essence also can sustain the coexisting materialities in the same clubhouse. That's why it's also one of the cause. Rupa to rupa, right? So that means whatever basis they are, whatever material base, then these 3 can be the causes. 4 primary elements, life faculty, due to the essence. Later, when we study Patana, also we have to review all these things again. But anyway, now when we talk about basics and their causes, we have to understand. Now 3 already, right? The first one is nama to manayana. Second one is Nama do Rubayarana. Then the third one is Rupa do Rubayarana. Then 4. Preceding heart materiality. This is a Rupa. And succeeding mind moment. This is the Nama, Manayarana. So in this case, Rupa do Nama. Cause and relationship. So that means I already said before, in every single mind moment, many rupas will arise. Then there are succeeding mind moments. They will arise depending on the basis that arise together with preceding mind moment. So in this case, Rupa do Nama relationship. Okay, now the last one. Materiality and mental factors. The Nama Rupa of their consciousness. This one is it. We can say Nama Rupa Bhajya Salarana. So when we are going to discern cause and effect relationship in Nama Rupa Bhajya Salarana, there are 5 different analyses, 5 different ways of discernment. Among the 5, the third one, Rupa to Rupa, divide into 3 groups again. So there are many different ways. So in every single mind moment, we can discern all these cause and effect relationship. This is a Sarana Bhajya, sorry, Vijnana Bhajya, sorry, Nama Rupa Bhajya Salayana. Okay, now Phassa, context. As we all have known, there are 3 types of Phassa. We also have already studied, sorry. We also have already studied 6 basics in the mental factor and the mentalities. So they also have already mentioned eye contact. Maybe here contact means, right? Although we say eye contact, right? That means because of eyes and the objects, the object impinged on the eye translucency, right? Then also there's the consciousness, because the arising of the consciousness, the combination, or sorry, accidental arising of these 3 is considered as the eye contact. Frequently, I also use the same Bali formula. Chakkhonja Patija, Rupeja Patija, Upajati Jakhu Vinyana, Tena Sangri Paso. So there's eye translucency. There's also visible objects. Then eye consciousness arises depending on them. The accidental arising of these 3 is called contact. Phassa, right? So without these 3, Phassa cannot arise. So let me contact between eyes, translucency, visible objects, and eye consciousness. Then this is called, the contact between these 3 is called Phassa. Actually, not only consciousness, it also all other mental factors. So Phassa will connect between mental factors and the object. So the analysis will be same to Salarana. So I will not explain in detail. Okay, that means as we have mentioned in the Salarana, we can also find into Sambada, Asambada, and so forth, right? Also like a Buddhapasara and so forth. But here, mostly when we talk about contact, this is actually mentality. We must be very careful, right? Okay, now, Husna Lakano. Its characteristic is a touching. Touching me, mentally touching. The mind will touch the object. The Sangatana Raso, its function is impingement or impingement. So that means without impingement, the objects cannot touch the mind. So there must be impingement between base and the object. Sangati Pachupatthano is manifested as a coincidence of internal and external bases and consciousnesses. So this one is easier, right? Another one is Salarana Pachupatthano. The proximate cause is sixfold basics. So here we have to introduce sixfold basics and their connections. Okay, now we have very few statements here. Right? Basics, object consciousness, mental factors. So when we review different originations, Salarana Pajya Tasso. So now when we talk about Salarana Pajya Tasso, how to discern cause and effect relationship? Effect will be context, is very clear. Okay, now here I will give only some example in the ion translucency. So in the ion context, okay? Basics. The base is ion base. We can say ion translucency is ion base. This is also called 𝐏𝐭𝐢𝐬𝐚. Because of ion base, ion contact arises. So the base is called iron, right? Another one is the object, visible object. So the eye can see the visible object. Actually, I cannot see, only the mind can see. Again, the main thing is ion translucency. Right? That means the color will impact on ion translucency. The object is called 𝐕𝐢𝐬𝐻. Because of 𝐕𝐢𝐬𝐻, ion contact arises. And consciousness. Consciousness is here ion consciousness. Actually, consciousness is also called 𝐿𝑚𝑛𝑎, mind base. Because of consciousness, ion contact arises. The mental factors. So mental factors means there are 7 mental factors that arise together with ion consciousness. All 7 mental factors are called Dhammayana, Dhamma base. Because of that, ion contact arises. So you may remember the body I recited recently, right? Chakunja Badija, Rubeja Badija, Obaja Chakuvinyana, Vinasangri Paso. So the first 3 base, Chakunja Badija, objects, Rubeja Badija, consciousness, Obajati Chakuvinyana, Vinasangri Paso, the Pasa rights. So not only consciousness, I already mentioned even in our previous slides, right? So contact means it will connect between objects and consciousness, object and mental factors. That's why they are called contact. I just give only unconsciousness as a simile, as an example. You can also understand all other consciousnesses. For example, ear consciousnesses, nose consciousnesses, time consciousnesses, body consciousnesses, and also including many other mind elements. For every single mind moment, we may have basics, the objects, consciousness, and mental factors. All of them will be considered as the cause, contact will be the effect. So we have to discern 4 ways of cause-effect relationship. So if I say according to the Salarana Pajya Tasso, the first one is in the case of ion sorry, ion contact, we can say ion base. No, previous slide. Now you're finished. Okay. Now you're finished. Now you're finished. Okay. All right. So that means if we summarize, right? For example, in the case of ion contact, Salana bacteria paso. The first one is ion translucency, Chakayana. Object is Rupayana. Consciousness is Manayana. Mental factors are Dhammayana. That's why we call Salana bacteria paso. In every single mind moment, we can design concept relationship. Okay, now we have to move to the next one. Wait now. So as you have already known the feeling, there will also, right? We already mentioned before, right? We have different types of feeling. Different types of feeling means we have a happy feeling, equanimous feeling, and so forth. Actually, when we say feeling, there are many different types of feeling according to the condition we have already mentioned. For example, ion contact also produce feeling. Ear contact also produce feeling. Nose contact also produce feeling. Tongue contact also produce feeling. Body contact also produce feeling. Also, mind contact also produce feeling. That's why we have many different types of feeling. It's according to the context. Not only that, according to happiness, unhappiness, medium, there can be many different other types of feeling also. But anyway, when we talk about feeling, actually we have already mentioned many times in many different places. That's why here I will not elaborate too much. Okay, now for about the characteristics, function, manifestation, and prosemic cause. The first one is Anubhavana Lakkhana. These are the characteristics of experiencing. The Anubhavana means experiencing or because of enjoying. Mostly when we talk about Anubhavana for a divine beings also, like Anubhavana, Anubhavati, for example. This is kind of okay, we can say enjoy. Anyway, the main thing is, although we say experiencing, we can understand as enjoying. It can enjoy like the king. Actually, in the case of mental factor, I have already mentioned the one. The chef, the royal chef also can taste the foods cooked for the king. Because the king wants to know whether he poisoned him or not. But the king can enjoy as he wish. Similarly, all other mental factors, consciousness also can know the object, can know the taste of the object, but the feeling can enjoy the taste of objects like the king. Okay, now another one is Visaya. Visaya rasa sambhoga rasa. So that means Visaya means the object. Rasa sambhoga rasa. The function is to explode and stimulus of the object, sampling the nature of an object. So that means it will just know the taste, okay, of the nature of the object. Then another one is Sukha, sorry, Sukho Dukkha Vajupatthana is manifested as pleasure, bliss, or pain, or grief. So here I just divide into 4 different groups: pleasure, bliss, or pain, or grief. So here, Sukha, Dukkha, it has mentioned only 2 different things. That means we have bodily pleasure, we also have mental pleasure, right? We can say pleasant feeling in the body, pleasant in the mind, pleasant feeling in the mind, Similarly, pain and grief. Pain in the body, grief in the mind, right? So here in this case, we can say both bodily and mentally, whether we have pleasant feeling or unpleasant feeling, it will be considered as a Pachupatthana, the manifestation. Then here also mentioned Passapattana. This process called is contact. So in the case of contact and feeling relationship, okay, we can say Passapattaya Vedana, right? Whenever we talk about Passapattaya Vedana, there will be feeling in every single consciousness. There's also Passa in every single mind moment. So in the same mind moments, Passa, contact and feeling can arise. So they can be cause of a relationship. So that one is easier to explain. That's why I don't make any table here. Now we have to move to the next one. Something about Tanha, craving. Craving. So this one's a very common vocabulary for Buddhist people, right? Tanha, craving. So there are three types of craving for the craving for sensual pleasure, craving for existences, craving for non-existences. So as you have already known, craving for sensual pleasure, we have 5 sensual pleasure, everybody knows that one. The craving for existences, this is similar to Sastavara, annihilation view, eternal view. Then craving for non-existence, similar to Uttitavara, Uttita Ditti, associated with Uttita Ditti, right? Then annihilation view. So when we talk about craving, then actually there are many different types of craving. For I think Myanmar people, they already know 108 types of craving, right? Then we have many formula. We have formula to multiply. Okay, it will be too long. Anyway, now here we should summarize. Ketu Lakkhana. It has the characteristics of being a cause, that is of suffering. Then it can be the causes of suffering. Then another one is Abhinandana Rasa. Its function is to delight or delighting in something, especially delighting in sensual pleasure, delighting in the existences or non-existences, something like that. Atita Bhava Pachupatthana is manifested as unsustainability or unsatisfactoriness, right? So that means we're gonna satisfy our greed. We may need everything, right? All the time. We're gonna like unsatisfactory, right? So Atitami, no satisfactory. It's a shame. It never sustains. That's called Adita Bhava. Actually, later, I have already explained in the case of Loba in the Metaphysics. I think I have already explained, right? Like a fire. If we put many fuel into the fire, the fire will never reject. Don't put any fuel to me. It will keep burning, whatever fuel we put into it. Not only that, like an ocean, rivers from many different countries go into the ocean. So the ocean never rejects. Don't come anymore. I have enough water. Whatever river flow to the ocean will accept. Similarly, greed will accept any kind of good and bad things. That's what we call Adita Bhava. Vedana Pachupatthana, its proximate cause is freedom. Okay, here, I didn't draw any table, but I have to explain a little bit more in detail. In the case of feeling and Tanha, Vedana Pachaya Tanha. So there are many different ways to understand, many different ways to design cause of a relationship. For example, Vedana can be in the past, tanha can be in the present. So you may have many past memories, right? Many good experience in the past. You can recall. You have good experience in the past. That means enjoyable things. Now you recall. You have attachment to it. That's why feeling can be in the past, feeling can be in the present. Sometimes feeling can be in the future. Craving can be in the present. They also can be cause of a relationship. For example, okay, I'm just gives very simple example, right? Okay, maybe within a few months, or maybe within a few weeks later, within a few weeks, you will buy a few weeks, you may earn a lot of money, for example, you know. Before earning, you'll feel happy. Something similar, you may win lottery. Money is not in your hands, right? Before you get money, you may have many plans. Enjoyable thing will be in the future, but greedy, lobha will be in the present. That is why, in the case of craving and feeling, it can be present and past, present and future. Right? Even future can be the cause for the present. Right? Not only that, it also can be in the present moment. Present feeling, present craving also possible. So that's why here I didn't write down any tables or anything, but it's easier to give a example, right? Everybody have craving. Everybody have tanha. That's why it's very easy to explain. For previous, like a salana bhattya paso or vijnana bhattya salarana, it will be very difficult for you to understand. Because there are many ways, right? Also, I have to talk about many Myanmar terms, Myanmar theories. In the case of craving, it's very easy to explain, right? Very easy to understand. Okay, briefly, Vedana Paccaya Tanha can be past Vedana, present Tanha. Or maybe present Vedana and present Tanha. Or future Vedana and present Tanha can be cause of a relationship. So there will be many different ways to determine cause of a relationship, right? Okay, now we have to move Upadana. Clinging. There are 4 types of clinging. We have already mentioned before, right? For example, Kamupadana, clinging to sensual pleasure. Ditthupādana, clinging to wrong view. Silapatupādana, then also clinging to right and ritual. Right? Another thing is Attavadupādana, clinging to identity view of self and soul. That kind of wrong view, right? Actually, the main thing is Attavadupādana means only my ideas are right, all other ideas are wrong. We can also say like that. This kind of view can be considered as Attavadupādana. Okay, so we have already mentioned 4 types of clinging in our previous. Okay, 1, Ghana Lakhanam is a characteristic of seizing or grasping. Okay, we have different degree of lobha. You may ask, what's the difference between tanha and upadana? Tanha is just attachment to something, right? Upadana is stronger than tanha. It's grasping, holding very tightly. This is called upadana. Then we have amujana rasa. Its function is not to release. That means we don't wish to give up after holding something. This is called upadana. So, for example, in the case of Kamubharana, sensual pleasure, or clinging to sensual pleasure, right? When we have some enjoyable thing, we don't wish to give up. We don't wish to release. We don't wish to release it, so we will hold it. We will grasp it. Another one is Dana Danlata Jiti Bajupatana. It's manifested as a strong form, strong of craving and as false view. Actually, Dana Danlata is confirmed by craving, also Jiti, right? Wrong view. So it's a wrong view, but it make it struck reinforced by craving. Then Dana its proximate cause is craving. So here in the case of Dana Pachaya Upadana, there are many different causes of a relationship. So whenever we are going to talk about Dana Pachaya Upadana, let's have to understand 3 different ways of cause of a relationship. I make the table. The next slide, the next one. Okay, now here we have the first one is Kamatana. So Kamatana also, actually we have mentioned, okay, for example, I will just say a very simple thing, right? For example, Rupa Bhava. Oh, sorry, among the 5 sensual pleasure. Among the 5 sensual pleasure, for example, Rupa, the visible object. So when seeing something, we may have craving for it. We call Kamatana. Because of Kamatana, there can be Kamubharana, clinging to this visible object. Not only that, it also can be Attavadupharana, right? Holding very tightly for the wrong view. This one be like I or mine. This is mind properties, right? This is called Attavadupharana. Similarly, the same color, Bhavatana. We have already mentioned Bhavatana means equal to eternalism. So that means the color is permanent or eternal. When we have this kind of mind, this kind of perceptions, it will be Ditubharana. Sometimes, okay, after any of this life, at the end of this life, we don't have any more sensual pleasure. End of sensual pleasure, right? No more sensual pleasure. We may have that kind of wrong view. Then it will be Ditubharana. Here I just mentioned only 3 Upadana. Kamubharana, Attavadupharana, Ditubharana. What about Silabhadupharana? Why does it mention Silabhadupharana? Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry, okay. Now, Attavadupharana, right? So, why I need to mention Silabhadupharana? Clinging to right and ritual. Okay, here I should elaborate a little more about right and ritual. There are many useless right and ritual. It cannot produce kusala, it cannot make our spiritual quality develops. Then when we have this kind of thing, we call Silabhadupharana. So that means it's not leading to Nibbana, for example. As a Buddhist or as a meditator, we may not have this kind of wrong view. That's why I don't add here. We don't add in our meditation manual also. Okay, anyway, when we say Tanapatya Upadana. We have to do in every single clinging, every single Tana, we can divide into 3 groups. Right? Although we say 3 groups, actually, the assignment will be 4 different ways, right? For example, number 1 divided into 2. Right? Also 2 and then 3. That's why we can say 4-way of discernment. Then we have to move to the next one, Bhava Bhajya, Bhava, right? So when we talk about Bhava, actually, there are many different types of Bhava. We have to explain. But now here I will introduce these basics Bhava. There are only 2 types of Bhava, Kama Bhava and Upapatti Bhava. Kama Bhava means all types of wholesome and unwholesome consciousnesses for Kama Bhava. But actually, okay, when we talk about all, that means only mundane, right? For Kama Bhava. Upapatti Bhava means 32 mundane resident consciousnesses, or 35 mental fetters, 80 Kama spiritual materialities. These are called Upapatti Bhava. When we talk about Upadana Pattaya Bhava, it can be Kama Bhava, or it can be Upapatti Bhava. Then we have to continue talking about different types of Bhava. Actually, we can find 9 different types of Bhava. Yeah, Upapatti Bhava divide into 9, right? So when we have many different types of Bhava like this, some of them are a little bit similar. But anyway, we have to analyze everything in detail one by one. So the first one is Kama Bhava. Kama Bhava means 23 sense-sphere resetting consciousnesses and 33 mental fetters. Also, we can also say like 38, so 18 Kama spiritual materialities. So all these are called Kama Bhava. So here for your informations, right? So all Rupa are also called Kama, right? Oh, sorry, Kamaja Rupas, right? They also call Kama because they're Kama Bhava. Of course, they are for material realms. Then there are also some Rupas in the material realms. For material realms, there are no Rupa. That's why we're going to have Arupa Bhava, right? Okay, number 2, Rupa Bhava. So five material residing consciousnesses. So as you have already known, this one before. Then we also have to know all other rupas and consciousnesses. For example, 2 eye consciousnesses, 2 ear consciousnesses. And also, we also have 2 receiving consciousnesses, or the 3 investigating consciousnesses, and 35 mental fetters, and also Kama spiritual materialities, and so forth. Okay, now here, in the Brahma worlds, they don't have nose, tongue, body, translucency. So here we just have only eye translucency, eye consciousnesses. That means Brahma can see the Buddha. Although they have ear consciousnesses, they can also listen to the Dhamma. That's when there's also two receiving consciousnesses. So two receiving consciousness also, whenever there's an I consciousness, ear consciousness arises, they will arise. Then not only that, there will be three investigating consciousnesses. The next one, three investigating consciousnesses. Right? So that means also 35 mental fetters. Also mentioned 13 karma virtue materialities. So because of no transcendency, time transcendency, no body transcendency, that's why, right? They don't have all types of materialities. Here are the set materiality, right? So these are Rupa Bhava. So that means in the Rupa, in the Brahma worlds, all these consciousness and these types of Rupa can arise. Then we have the Arupa Bhava. 4 material residing consciousnesses and 30 mental fetters. So these are very simple. No rupas, because it's arupa, immaterial realms. So again, we also have a Sanyi Bhava. Sanyi means we call, right, 31 mental resident consciousness, exception, meta-perception or non-perception resident consciousnesses, also 35 mental fetters, and 80 karma virtue materialities. Because it's called Sanyi Bhava. So there's a Sanya, perception. Now we also have Asanyi Bhava. The next one, Asanyi Bhava. Asanyi Bhava is also similar to Asanya Satta. And then light Kalapa as a pre-sandi. So there may only one type of rupa, one type of kamacha rupas. That's what we call light Kalapas. Then 6. Neva Sanyi Nasanyi Bhava. I mean, 1 meta perception, non-perception, residing consciousness, and 30 meta fetters. So they are actually, if we combine together, Sanyi Bhava, Asanyi Bhava, Neva Sanyi Nasanyi Bhava can be one group. Then again, 7, Eko Gara Bhava, similar to Asanyi Bhava. Eko Gara means only one aggregate. They have only material aggregate. They don't have mental aggregate. Chatuvo Gara Bhava, similar to Arupa Bhava, we have mentioned before. So in the case of Chatuvo Gara Bhava, it will be immaterial Brahmans. They may have only 4 aggregates, 4 mental aggregates. They don't have material aggregates. The 9, Pancho Gara Bhava. Okay, as we have already known, Eko Gara, Chatuvo Gara, here with it. Pancho Gara means 5 aggregates. So we human beings, divine beings, and some Brahmas, also hair beings, animals, birds, all living beings have 5 aggregates. Then there are 33 6 PM resonant consciousnesses, 5 material resonant consciousnesses, and 35 mental fetters, and 80 karma virtue materialities. They are called Bhava. So we have already talked about, right, 9 different types of Bhava, right? So we also have to explain many other things about Bhava. Okay, now the next one. Uparana Bhajaya, Uparana Bhajaya Bhava. It refers to both Kama Bhava and Upapatti Bhava. I have already talked about it before, right? So then because of clinging, we also make many actions. Okay, practically in our daily life also, we make many good and bad things because of clinging, because of attachment. Is the karma. Then because of attachment also, we have to be reborn with Upapatti Bhava. So later we also have to explain many other things, such as Bhavapatya, Jati, and so forth. Right? So in every single statement or in every single explanation like this, we also have to understand the same things. Okay, now again, Bhavapatya, Jati. In the case of Bhava, yeah, Kama Bhava. Then Jati will be Upapatti Bhava. We have causal relationship like that. Okay, although we have mentioned many different types of bhava, if we summarize, Kama Bhava, Upapatti Bhava is good enough to understand cause-and relationship. For all other types of bhava, it's just for knowledge. Right? So we are not born as an Asanya Saddha or as a immaterial Brahmas, and we cannot discern, right? When we are born, if we have been born in this kind of life, then sure we can discern. Okay, now we have to continue talking about characteristics, function, and manifestation, and cosmic cause. So when we talk about karma, karma bhava, right? Bhava. Yeah, mention karma phala lakkhana. It is the characteristics of being karma and karma results. So karma bhava is a karma. Upapatti bhava is a karma result. Bhavana bhava raso. Its function is to make become or to become, causing to exist and existence. So that means both will cause a life to become alive. Then kusala vyagata pachupatano. It is manifested as a wholesome, profitable, or unwholesome, unprofitable, or indeterminate. Okay, here I should elaborate a little bit more about kusala vyagata. Kusala, we already know this is a karma. Akusala is also karma. We have already know. What about abhyagata? In the case of abhyagata, we have 3 different types. We can also say 4 different types. The first one is vibhaka abhyagata, the second indeterminate. Kiriya, the second one is kiriya abhyagata, functional indeterminate. The third one is rupa abhyagata, material indeterminate. The last one is nibbana. Nibbana is also indeterminate. We call abhyagata. But here in the case of bhava, nibbana is not bhava. When we talk about abhyagata, it must be resultant consciousness and kamacha rupas. They are called bhava. Upanana bharatano, its cosmic cause is clinging. The clinging is also very clear already, right? Because of clinging, we're to be reborn as a human being, as a devas, as a brahmas, or as animals, or any living beings. These are called cause and relationship. Okay, now and again, we have to move maybe a few more grooves. Jati. So when we talk about bhavapatya jati, it must be upapatti bhava. So according to Dhatu Katha, the arising moment of 18 concrete materialities and the arising moment of 4 mental aggregates is also called Jadi. So in Dhatu Katha, we have different chapters, right? Different chapter may have different types of analysis, different types of approach. That's why it's not that easy to understand. Okay, anyway. So now we have to introduce characteristics, function, and manifestation, approximate cause of Jadi. In the case of Jadi, the first one is Patama Binipadana Lakana. Actually, we have already mentioned before. So that means its characteristics is the first metaphysics in the any sphere of becoming. That means the first reproductions here and there in existences. This is called Patama Nipati Lakana. Then we also have another one, Niyatana Rasa. The next one. Its function is to consign or assign to a sphere of becoming. Then Adida Bhavato Ita Umuja Bana Pachupatana. It is manifested as an emergent appearing here in the existences from the past existences. Or we have another one. Dukkha Ujita Pachupatana is manifested as varieties of suffering by means of results. Then we have to experience various suffering as a result, right? Or Dukkha Ujita. So proximate cause is karma process, becoming karma bhava. So that means we can say bhava pacaya jadi, right? Karma, because of karma bhava, ubhavati bhava. Then similarly, we also have like a jara agent. The next one, agent. Actually, agent also, we have many different types of agent. Actually, we have also explained some in the past, especially in Four Noble Truths, because a long time already. That's why you may not remember all these things. So actually, Jarami during the lifetime or after rising or reviling in consciousness, before death consciousness, all this called Jara. So now also we have Jara. We are gradually getting older and older. Then not only that, actually, according to Dhatu Katha, the steady state of 18 concrete materialities and the steady state of 4 mental aggregates is also called Jara. We have rising state, standing state, and present state of Namarupas. So that means standing state is called Jara, agent. Actually, we also call the steady state of Namarupas as ultimate Jara, ultimate reality, right? Then we also have to understand the characteristics, function, manifestation, proximate cause of all these things again. The characteristic is Khanda Varipaga Lakana. It has the characteristics of maturing, ripening of aggregates. Next one. Then we also have like a Maranu Bayana Rasa. Its function is to leading on to death. And we are getting nearer and nearer to the death. Also, Yavana Vinasa Pachupatana is manifested as vanishing or destruction of youth. This one's very clear already, right? The proximate cause is a verb. We can say jadi. Again, marana, death. Actually, we also have the variation state of our life. That means the last moment of our life also can be considered as a marana, death. 13, marana. That's why death, my moments, right? This is also called death. According to Dhatu Katha, the variation state of 18 concrete materialities and variation state of 4 mental aggregates is also called marana. So that means we have different analysis. Okay, anyway, when we are going to talk about marana, we also have to know characteristics, right? Here, Chuti Lakana, it has the characteristic of a fall or shifting or basin. Yeah, actually, Chuti also can be like a moving. Otherwise, Viyoga Rasa is a function is to just join or just junction. Actually, we can also say like Viyoga also can be considered as a dissociation or like a separation. Anyway, now otherwise, Gati Vipa Wasa Pachupatana is manifested as absence from the destiny in which there was a reverse. So then the absence of right, the destiny, current reverse. The proximate cause is the verse jadi. Because of reverse, we have to die, right? Okay, now we have next one, soka, sorrow. When experiencing loss of relatives, loss of wealth, loss of health, loss of right view, and loss of morality, one may feel sorrow. In this case, we can also say sorrow. Within lifetime, we can experience this. Mostly people experience the first two, right? Loss of relatives, loss of wealth. Sorry, the first three, right? Loss of relatives, loss of wealth, loss of health. Then they may have a lot of suffering for it. For our right view or morality, I don't think we may have that kind of suffering, right? But there are some people, they may feel very sorry for breaking precepts or something, right? So it's also mental factor, dosa, if that's associated with 2 hatred-rooted consciousnesses. So, the characteristic is, Anto Nichayana Lakano. It has a characteristic of inner consuming, burning inside. Nichayana means burning. Teta so, Prijabana raso, its function is completely to consume the mind. That is also burning the mind. Anusojana Pachupatano is manifested continuous sorrowing. We may recall loss of relatives and loss of wealth and so forth. We may suffer continuously. The proximate cause is loss of relatives and so on. Actually, we can here in this case, we can also say proximate cause can be jati also. You know, next one, Prideva, lamentation. Also, the mind produces sounds. So that means when we have very strong mental suffering, we're going to keep it inside our mind. We will speak out something, right? Okay, here we can say, according to Dhatu Katha, we also mind produces crying sounds when experiencing loss of relative and so on. Okay, here Lalapana Lakana. It has characteristics of crying out or calling out. Let me call in somebody's name. Guna Dosa Kirana Raso, its function is to proclaim virtues and faults. That means when we talk about quality of somebody and force of somebody, right? When we cry. Similarly, we also have Samama Pachupatano. It is manifested summons or assignment. And the proximate cause is loss related and so on. Actually, proximate cause also can be reversed, jadi. Then we can also use dukkha, pain or suffering. This is bodily pain. So body pain means we can also say like a body door, mental process. According to Dhatu unpleasant feeling that associate with unwholesome resetting body consciousness. Kaya Bilana Lakanon is a characteristic of operation of the body. That means mental pain, right? Something discomfort in the body. Kaya means body, right? So the body pain, sorry. Another was it? Drupanyanam, Domanasa Kara Rasam. Its function is to cause grief in the foolish. So here I just mentioned to the foolish, right? So I mean, when we have very wise attentions, although we have to suffer some body pain, but it cannot cause any grief. For example, like arhats, although they may feel body pain, they may not get angry, they may not have sorrow, right? So anagami, they may not have that kind of suffering. Another thing is kahika bhata pachupatano. It's manifested as bodily affliction. The body pain very clear already. The proximate cause is understandable, tangible, etc. Actually, here in this case, also can be jadi. Jadi dukkha. Then we also have to proceed the last one, upayasa, despair. Is also mental pain. Domanasa means mental pain, mental pain, right? According to Dhatu Gata, is unpleasant feeling associated with two hatred-rooted consciousnesses. So Jita Budana Lakanam, the characteristic is mental oppressions, some discomfort in the mind. Manovika Darasam, its function is to distract the mind. So now we have many distracts or many discomfort in the mind, right? Another one is Manasa Bhyadi Pachupatanam is manifested as mental afflictions. But the proximate cause is understandable objects. Yet the proximate cause also can be jadi. And on the last one, upayasa. Is the last one for today. It's a deep mental pain. Here I should explain a little bit more about deep mental pain. Actually, I have explained before also, Soka is just like worry or sorrow, very little. What do you want me like crying, cannot keep inside the mind, speak out something. In the case of Ubayasa, no more energy, after a long time suffering, no more energy. Although he or she crying out, no voice, although no tears anymore. Tear cannot come out anymore. Totally fainted. And very deep mental pain. Was very exhausted, right? No more energy to accept the conditions. According to Dhatu Kata, it's unpleasant feeling that associated with two hatred-rooted consciousnesses, or similar to the previous one. Then the characteristics, Chitta Paridhana Lakana is a characteristics is burning the mind or frustration. Then Nitranana Rasa, its function is to be mourn or mourning. Then Visada Pachupatano is manifested as rejection. The proximate cause is the loss of rated and so on. Here in this case, it also can be jhati as proximate cause. So these, actually, although here we say all the jara, marana, soga, priteva, dukkha, domana, supayasa, it will be different in the process caused by jati as the, right? We call jati nisanda. So as long as we have a jati, we have to suffer from aging, sickness, death, sorrow, limitations, also mental pain, bodily pain, or despair, right? All the things. So they may have different mental process. They have different cause and effect relationship. The main cause is a jati. Okay. So now I will stop here. Actually, later we also have to introduce something about the descending namarupas in detail. But this is the introduction of different originations. The different origins also can be one part of namarupa paricheda. That's what I just introduced here. It will take time to understand all the things. It's a very heavy topic and to understand, right? But anyway, so as Buddhists, we know everything has their causes. Without cause, nothing can arise. So if we can understand cause and have a relationship deeper and deeper, we must have very deep understanding of karma ownership. Then we have very deep karma ownership. Then we can also say our view become pure. Not only that, when we have very strong karma ownership knowledge, we can also purify our doubts about past, present, and future. Later, we also have to explain doubt overcoming purifications in detail. Okay, now, anyway, so there are many, many things by practicing we can overcome. In the case of right view, by practicing, we can have right view. We can overcome wrong view. In the case of the doubts about the past, present, and future, again, we can also overcome by practicing. So may you all be able to practice Buddha teaching. May you all be able to realize final cessation and no suffering.
The first question is Sayadaw. Dear Sayadaw, how do we differentiate between clinging and determination? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, so in the case of determination, right, we may have many different types of determinations. For example, we have saddha dimokha. Saddha dimokha means determined by faith. This is the one thing, right? Another thing is a mana. When we have overconfidence, we can also make determination we can also decide, right? By our own mana. This is also possible. In the case of clinging, it's just a grasping. Okay, for example, when you are in danger, or in the like very, okay, like a, how should we say this one? Mountain river, right? When you are going to drown in the mountain river, even it's small piece of grass, you may hold it very, very tightly. Okay. Similarly, you may grasp something very tightly. This is called clinging. For example, when seeing something, you may grasp. When you have strong attachment, very deep attachment, you may grasp it. Similarly, hearing, smelling, any other things, any belonging, living things or non-living things, grasping. This is clinging. Okay. Determination will be different. Okay. Next one.
Vietnamese said đó. Dạ cho sư cho con hỏi đau khổ. So hỏi là đau khổ khi thấy người khác mất giới. So the question here is, if somebody see he or she suffering because of seeing other people break their sila, break their morality. So because that is the sign of the mind, unstable mind, and the sign of keeping precept, keeping the sila for other people. Is that so?
Huh? Not quite clear.
Yes, Sayadaw, the question is also not clear for me. Sayadaw, the question here means the people, someone see other people not keeping their sila, break their sila. So that person, they are feel suffering because seeing other break their sila, other people break their sila. So they feel suffering. So because that is the sign of their unstable mind or not. Is that so? Yes.
Of course, that means actually nobody want to see breaking precepts, right? Nobody want to see other people breaking precepts, right? Okay, we can also this is unstable mind, sure. But one more thing, if we have equanimity, this is his karma, not my karma, right? When we have this kind of equanimity, sure, our mind cannot be shaken. Then we have stable minds. Mostly only in our hearts we can have that kind of unstable minds. That kind of stable minds. For some Vibhutuchana or some Arya people, if they're trying their best to have equanimity, they can also have that kind of quality, right? Most of the people may have some unstable mind when seeing somebody breaking precepts. Okay. Another one.
Dear Sayadaw, is lamenting feeling associates with too hatred-rooted consciousness? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, so that means their lamentation is also a kind of feeling, sure, that's associated with where they do the consciousness, sure. Yeah. Next one.
Yes, Sayadaw. The color object would not have contact with the Jakupasada. So is that the color objects, the image of the color objects come and impinge and contact with the Jakupasada?
Not quite clear. Oh.
Means the color object would not in contact with Jakupasada.
Okay.
So is that the color of it is the image of the color object comes and impinge and contact with Jakupasada. Means color object doesn't come and impinge, but the image of the color object come and impinge. Is that true?
Okay. So that means actually, okay, here impinge it does not need to come to touch the eyes. Okay. In the case of the eating, right? In the case of eating, the tongue and the taste we must touch. We can know the taste, right? In the case of color must not come to the eyes. We cannot say image come, right? Color come actually. Color impinge. We cannot say image. Okay.
Dear Sayadaw, is it possible for arahats to still have wandering thoughts if they are not meditating? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, we cannot say wandering thoughts, right? Maybe they may have wholesome thoughts, but we cannot say wholesome thoughts because they have a clear functional consciousness. That's what I mean, right? Like a nekama vidaka or abhyagala vidaka, that kind of thing don't maybe have. Like unwholesome, they may not have unwholesome thoughts. Okay? They may also have thinking. We cannot say wandering thoughts. This one.
Dear Sayadaw, after Arya had died, except Arahat, are they reborn in the same realm? In the next life, can they inherit their achieved jhanas, vipassana resultants, abhanya, and so on? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, for about the Anagami, for example, right? So when they reborn in the next life, they will have jhana. This is very clear. We don't need to say anything. For other Sotapanna and Sakadagami, it's not sure. For Vipassana, sure, Vipassana will be okay. They have Vipassana. But for about Vijnana and jhana, it's not sure. Okay?
Dear Sayadaw, 把心从有根心拉出来的知识处。This question is not so clear. I try to translate. If someone try to pull the mind from the Bhavanga mind, is that called phasa? And that is also called impingement. I reverse this sentence, means phasa and impingement is it by pulling the mind from the Bhavanga mind.
No. I don't understand also. You know?
Dear Sayadaw, my Paticama nimitta is not stable. When I focus it, it disappears. So how can I make Paticama nimitta more stable? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
In this case, actually, don't be in a hurry. As long as you can focus on the breathing, just keep knowing breathing. The nimitta will be around your nostril or somewhere. Don't think about it too much. So when nimitta become very strong and powerful, your breath will naturally disappear. Your mind will naturally go to the nimitta. It will be easier for you. Right? As long as you're trying to grasp nimitta, it will be unstable. And it will run away. It will fade away. Right? Many disturbances will come. That's why keep knowing breathing with background nimitta. Okay? Next one.
Yes, Sayadaw. If for this 12 Paticcasamuppada Anga, if someone compare the 12 Paticcasamuppada Anga, which factors that will cause more harm to the body and mind? For he himself feel that each Anga has their influences. So may Pandey please explain briefly how to deal with it.
Okay, it depends on what kind of harm also, right? There may be different degree of harm according to personality. If, for example, like avijja, ignorance, right? Not knowing, sure, we may do many good and bad things. It's also very harmful, right? Similarly, tanha, upadana also harmful. Then also because of karma also harmful, right? It depends on personality. There will be different degree of harm. So we cannot say which one is strong, which one is weaker, right? You know this one?
Dear Sayadaw, how do we convince our friends, family, and relatives to have more faith and practice the Dhamma more? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Actually, for about family, we cannot expect too much, right? Friend also is so close, I think we cannot expect too much also. Anyway, the main thing is, if they have good experiences in meditation, then their mind may incline to meditation more. As long as they don't have any good result or good experiences in meditation, not that easy to convince them to practice Dhamma, right? So that means all the confidence comes from their own experiences also. Sometimes by reading the books also possible, but not sure. Sometimes by reading the books, that means overconfidence, right? Overconfidence means like arrogance, mana. It will be more risky. Okay, so that means let them experience some part of Dhamma. It will be easier for you to convince them, right?
Dear Sayadaw, why did Buddha teach about avara vinkana jhana? If these khan doesn't help for the liberation, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sorry, I think my pronunciation is not correct here.
And also that. Avara, vajara, vachana. What does it mean? I don't know that one. Vachana. We don't have that kind of jhana. Right? There's some mistake maybe.
Dear Seattle, can the Seattle explain how to achieve all our goals? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Oh, very good question, right? What kind of goal? Okay. First, you must set easiest goals, right? For example, before attaining jhana, you must set your goal to see the nimitta. So if you have difficulty, okay, you must set new goal, easier one. Maybe focus on the breathing without any thoughts. Right? So that means sometimes we think about very high ambitions. We have very high ambitions, very high goal, but not that easy to achieve. Okay, practically, many people ask me, what is it called nirvana? What's it really called nirvana? Mostly I don't answer this kind of question. Nirvana is very far from you. Just know the breathing is easier, right? So, okay, make easiest goal first. Anapana. Without wandering thoughts. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, and so on. If you can do successfully, okay, set another goal. You see nimitta. If you can see nimitta, set another goal to attain jhana. Okay. That means we must have ambition, but sometimes we may think it's impossible, very far from me. It's also not really very good. Okay. Start with small steps. Okay. Next one.
Dear Seattle, I'm so sorry, it was my typo. Venerable Seattle, why did Buddha teach about arupa vikara jhana?
Okay. Actually, arupa vikara jhana is also useful. They also can be the foundations of vipassana. That's when the Buddha also teach arupa vikara jhana. Okay.
Dear Seattle, is it possible if we daytana with Buddha statue or teacher before practicing
Dudanga.
Dudinga? Oh, Dudinga.
Sure. Okay. So it depends. Okay, sure. Sometimes if you have the practitioners, you can also go and also undertake from somebody who is practicing Dudanga. If there's no such people, such bhikkhus, you can also do Adhitthana in front of the Buddha. Sure. Okay.
Dear Seattle, why akusala marana sana javana cannot become the patisandhi mind? Why akusala marana sana javana mind cannot become patisandhi mind?
Akusala is javana cannot be patisandhi. This is a cause, right? Patisandhi must be the effect. That's why they cannot. Okay. Another one.
Dear Seattle, is it bad karma if we break the Dudinga practice? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Actually, okay, so here I should explain a little bit more about Dudanga, right? Dudanga is the extra practice. It's not false, right? Not like a Patimokkha rules or other duties. If we wish, we can practice. If we wish, if we don't wish, we can stop. In this case, we cannot see any offense, right? But one more thing, if we practice Dudanga, that for sure it will be the problem. Right? This is not we are not that much sincere. We are just honest. In this case, it will be the problem. As long as we just practice sincerely or honestly, it will be fine. Then if we cannot practice, okay, we can stop. This is also okay, not really big problem. Ittavadacha amehi sampunya sambadam sabbe deva numodandu sabbe buddha numodandu sabbe satta numodandu Sabasam Bati Siriya Idame Nyatinam Hodu Sukhita Hondu Nyadayo Idame Nyatinam Hodu Sukhita Hondu Nyadayo Idame Nyatinam Hodu Sukhita Hondu Nyadayo Idame Bunyam Asawakaya Waham Hodu Idame Bunyam Nibbanasa Bhajayo Hodu Mama Bunya Bhagam Savasadanam Bhajemi Te Sabe Me Samam Bunya Bhagam Lavandu Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu